Hello, and welcome to another River Horse How to Play video. This time I'm going to teach you how to play Labyrinth, the card game. Without further ado, I'll open the box, revealing both the summary of what's in the deck on this page and the rules. So we have an A5, 2 columns there, a third column on this side. The fourth column is advanced rules, so very short amount of rules here. So it will be a short video. Then the deck, of course, beautifully illustrated by Ralph Horsley. A lot of Labyrinth beauty there. I'll put it away. So the first thing I'll do is I'll show you what suits are in this game. So the deck includes 5 suits. Now the first suit is there's 4 minor suits and 1 major suit. So the 4 minor suits will be the first ones that I'll show you. So the first minor suit is owls. Owls, which you can see ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 4 face figures, because this is kind of more similar to medieval tarot than playing cards. So you have a jack, which is normally a foot figure, a chevalier or knight, cavalier, which is a character riding something, in this case Didymus on Ambrosius. Then a queen, which is Sarah in one costume, and the king, of course, is the Goblin King, is Jareth in a costume. And if you then look at the other 3 minor suits, the next one is orbs, and I will quickly go through the orbs just to get to the face card, where you have the jack, the chevalier, the queen, and the king. I'll just show you those, and then we'll have the next suit, minor suit, which is books, labyrinth books, where again the normal 1 to 10, and then the jack, the goblin knight, chevalier, the queen, and the king. And finally, speaking of the minor suits, there is the suit of clocks, goblin clocks. And again, 1, 2, 3. The funny thing, of course, is that here you can see that the hands of the clock actually turn with another, so they're actually marking the time of the card. The jack, the chevalier, goblin knight, the queen, and the king, Jack. Okay, so we have 4 minor suits. I will put them here and show you the major suits, the labyrinth suit, or major arcana if this was a tarot deck. So the first ones are the pair cards of fair and unfair. One is a negative of the other. So this is obviously to represent Sarah's evolution as a character from, say, a child to a grown-up. Then the more traditional cards number from 0 to 21. So there's 21, 22, 23, 24 of this major suit. 0, which is the blind beggar. 1, the worm. Junk lady, the stepmother, the father. False alarms, the ball, the cleaners, the door knockers, the wise old man, helping hands, homungus, the hanged Ludo, the door guards, Lancelot, fieries, the castle, the stairs, the bog of eternal stench, the clock, Toby, and to finish off, the labyrinth, the most powerful card in the deck. So these are the cards that you find in the deck. And next I will explain you the rules. And now let's see how to play. So the first thing you do is 4 players sit around a table in the position shown here. I put some tokens there just to show you where you sit. So you have player on the south and the north position, player on the east and the west position, so to speak. So you can sit by, ideally you want a round table or a square table, but of course a rectangular table is fine. The green players, so south and north, are a team, and so are the other 2 players are a team. So you're sitting in front of your teammate. Once you decide who's going to be the dealer for the first hand, or round. We tend to call a round a hand because that's your hand of cards through the round. So the dealer, say that in this case is this player here. The first thing the dealer does after, well, he obviously shuffles the deck, then somebody to the left of the dealer cuts the deck. After that is done, the dealer finally takes the top 4 cards of the deck and removes them from the game, from this hand. So they are not used in this hand, they're burnt, so to speak, which basically is a thing that allows to make sure that the deck is always different. Yeah, every time you play, you cannot be 100% certain of cards being in the deck or not. Basically removes an element of certainty. Then the dealer will deal the cards to the players. Okay, so the cards have been dealt, and each player has a generous hand of cards. You can hold them either way around because they're all mirrored, so it doesn't matter how you hold them. So obviously you wouldn't normally reveal your cards, but I'll do it for this demonstration. So each player will, at this stage, I think, tied up their hand of cards, time to order them in a convenient way for them. And basically, now we're ready to play the first trick. So this is a trick-taking game, which, very traditional fashion, begins with the first person to the right of the dealer, so the person that has been dealt cards with first. So this person now will play a card, and that's very important because the card that you deal will set what the lead card, the lead suit is for this particular trick. So I begin the trick by playing a card. This means that orbs are, in this particular trick, are the lead suit, which is important. Because the winner of the trick is the player that will, basically after each player has played a card into the trick, will be the player that has the highest card of, in this case, orb, because orbs were the first suit to be put in. Or, if anybody plays a major suit, so the major suit, the Hatu, trumps, major arcana, whatever you want to call them, so the labyrinth cards here are the strongest suits. They always trump all the minor suits. So if nobody plays a major suit, but only plays other cards from this or another, so let's say this player plays orbs. This player decides that they don't want to engage in this trick, so they play a card that doesn't win anything. The partner of this player goes, interesting. So we are winning because we are leading that. So maybe I can put down something that is worth a few points. So look in our hands and, for example, find a jack of orbs. So actually, he's now the leading card because it's the highest card of the lead suit. Now this last player has the choice of whether they want to let it go, because I mean the only way to go up there and win the trick would be a queen or a king of orbs. They don't have it, so they now have the choice of either just abandon the trick or actually trump. So they could put in a major arcana there and win the trick, or more likely they will probably just abandon the trick by putting a card that doesn't score. So effectively the trick, the highest card is this one, and this team has won the trick. They take the cards and put them in their kitty. So basically they will have a kitty for the team where they keep the cards they won. Now, so this player has won the trick. Sorry, no, that player has won the trick because he played the highest card of the lead suit. So he or she will now play a new card. So you can lead with another suit, or the same suit is up to you, or even you can even lead with a major suit. This is entirely up to you. And it continues. So the tricks continue until basically everybody has played all of the cards in their hand, and basically all of the cards have been captured. So you will end up with 2 kitties. Yeah. So the game will end up with 1 kitty for this team and 1 kitty for this team. Oops. So that's the way the trick ends. At this point, you will have to go and count the points. But before we get to that, there are 3 cards in the deck that have a special rule attached to them. The one card that has a particular special rule is the 0. So the major arcana 0 is the trickster, is the one that can never be taken, is the kind of the jester, the joker, the trickster, the one that breaks the rules, basically. And it will, the rule simply is that when it's your turn, and if you have the blind beggar in your hand, instead of playing it in the trick, you can play it from your hand straight into your own kitty, which basically means that trick will only have 3 cards in, as opposed to 4, but that means that that card cannot be captured by the enemy. It will always be yours. Once you have it, it's yours, and also it allows you to not play into a particularly nasty trick where you don't want to add anything. So it's a very kind of an escape card when you're in a bad situation and you want out, you play that straight into your kitty, turns into a good thing. So a very powerful card. The other cards that have special abilities are the fair and unfair cards, where basically, if these are major suits, so they can trump normally any minor suits, so that's normal. They are the weakest of the major suits, so a single one of these can always be beaten by any major suit, including the number 1, 2, whatever. So they always are basically they are the weakest of the major suit. However, if they're played by the same team, so if one player plays that and the other player plays that in response, this play is the strongest play in the game. So even card 21, which is the Labyrinth, is normally the most powerful card because it's the highest of the major suit, cannot be 100% certain to win the trick, because these 2 together will be able to defeat that. If they're played by different teams, they just cancel each other out and are discarded. So a very important card. So how do you count the point? Well, at the end of the game, there will be 2 kitties, 1 per team, and the team will count the points they accumulated during the game. How many points each are the cards worth? Okay, so let's begin with the minor suits. In the case of the minor suits, the kings and the aces are the most precious, the most valuable cards. They're both worth 5 points. So all aces are worth 5 points, all kings are worth 5 points. Interestingly, that's the strongest card in the suit, that's the weakest card in the suit. So it's relatively easier to get a king in your to win the trick using a king, unless somebody wants to trumps with a major suit. But it's very tricky to get an ace in, because obviously it's the weakest card and it's very tricky to get into your trick. You have to be certain that you're winning that trick. Okay, so after the king, the most valuable card is the queen, and she's worth 4 points. So we're going 5, 4, and unsurprisingly, the chevalier is worth 3, and the jack is worth 2. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 5 points for the ace. That's how many points each of the minor suit cards are worth. All the other cards in the suit are worth simply 1 point. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything else is worth a point. And that's as far as the minor suits are concerned. Now, in the major suits, in a very similar logic to this, the top card and the bottom card, so the number 21 and the number 1 card, more like the ace and the king effectively, are also worth 5 points. So they are the same level of these. So 5 pointer, the kings are 5 pointers, and the aces are 5 pointers. There are some other cards, very few other cards that have good value. So the card number 0, which we saw was the trickster, the one that can never be taken by the opposition, is also worth 5 points. So is at the same level as these 5ers. And to finish it off, the fair and unfair card. If you have both in your kitty, they're worth 5 points each. So together, they're worth a whopping 10 points. If they're not in the same kitty, then they're simply worth a point. So they're like any other card. So obviously, getting them together again is very, very important. You want to create a harmonious balance of fair and unfair. So when you count the points, basically you would count any of the 5 point cards, adding for the 3 to the 4, 3, and 2s. Once you have your total, then you just count all of your remaining cards, adding them to the total. And that's your total for that hand. So once you've worked out the total for the hand, you compare it with your opponent, and the winner of the hand wins. Obviously, scores 1 hand. What you normally do is you play then 3 more hands, so that everybody. So if I've been the dealers and I've been the dealer and played that, then this person will be the dealer, then that person will be the dealer, then this person will be the dealer, which means that obviously after 4 hands, we all been the dealer. So everybody's been in the same position and it's basically brought balance to our chances effectively, which means that after 4 hands, you can go, right, has one of the teams won more hands than the other? Yeah, they won the game. Otherwise, it's a draw. Or you can continue, play another round of 4, play a single extra hand, randomizing who's the dealer is entirely up to you. But normally we play 4, and the best of the 4 wins the game. Well, these were the rules of Labyrinth, the card game. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a try and let us know what you think in this post. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching our video. If you'd like to learn more, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also like and subscribe to be told when we release new videos.